On that question, Representative Welch received 77 votes. Representative McCombie receives 38 votes. I hereby declare that Emmanuel Chris Welch has been elected Speaker of the House of Representatives. Having received the second highest number of votes and serving as the leader of the numerically strongest political party other than the party to which the Speaker-elect belongs, I declare that Tony McCombie has been elected Minority Leader of the House of Representatives for the 103rd General Assembly. With the consent of the House, I will appoint 6 members to constitute an honor committee to escort the Speaker to the rostrum to take the constitutional oath. Is there leave? Leave being granted, I appoint the following to the Committee of Escort: Representative Nick Smith, Representative Barbara Hernandez, Representative Bob Morgan, Representative Sue Scheer, Representative Dan Calkins, and Representative Randy Freese. Will the Committee of Escort proceed to the seat of Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch to escort him to the rostrum? To administer the constitutional oath of the Speaker, I have the honor of presenting to this House the Honorable Judge Shante Raines Welch. Judge Raines Welch.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It is certainly a pleasure, an honor, and a blessing to be here today for the 103rd General Assembly. We did not get to gather in this manner the last election cycle, so it is definitely a welcome event. Welcome all of you, my family and my extended family, and all of you. Over the last few years, we've gotten to know each other rather well. So, Mr. Speaker, are you ready to take the oath of office for the House? And when I say the House, we mean... here down the street with the gold roof. Mr. Speaker, please repeat after me. I, raise your right hand, yes sir. I, insert your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the great state of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives according to the best of my ability. Congratulations, Mr. Speaker.
Wow, it's a little different this time. Let me begin by first giving honor and praises to God, who's the head of my life each and every day. They said, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. I honestly thank God each and every day for this. It is an honor to say, Mr. Secretary, Honorable Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, Comptroller Susana Mendoza, the honorable members of the Illinois Supreme Court, and my friends, my colleagues, Democrats and Republicans, the members of the General Assembly, friends, family, and all of our distinguished guests who took time out of their day to be with us today. Good afternoon. You can do better than that. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to begin today by saying thank you to the historic House Democratic Caucus members, the great 78, for trusting me for a second time to lead our chamber as Speaker of the House. The second of three sons of Emmanuel and Willie Mae Welch, the husband of Judge Shante Raines Welch, and the father of Tyler and Marley, a black kid from the woods, Maywood and Bellwood, is Speaker of the House. From where we come from, that's not supposed to happen. But we said, who says so? Twice now, we've made history. Thank you, Illinois. Illinois says so. Thank you, Representative Cam Butler, and my friend, our leader Lisa Hernandez. Thank you for your kind words and placing my name into nomination today. I want to also thank and congratulate our new Secretary of State, Alexi Giannoulias. I think the only other guy who was as nervous as me today was Mr. Secretary. After what we all watched last week in Washington, man, you sure made this inauguration look like a model of efficiency. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You know as well as anyone the historic shoes you are stepping into as you succeed the great Jesse White. I'm sure I speak for this entire House when I tell you how excited I am to see someone in the office who I know will respect that history while also looking to the future. We're glad to have you, Mr. Secretary, and we look forward to the work ahead. And of course, this is special. I want to thank all of the families and friends who are joining us here today. We didn't have anyone except little Charlie Tarver 2 years ago. And look at what we have today. All of you, give yourselves a round of applause. When I first took the speaker's oath 2 years ago at the Bank of Springfield Center, I had my General Assembly family there, and that certainly meant the world to me. But I can't tell you how meaningful it was for the moment that we just saw, and I had an opportunity to share with my wife, Shante Raines Welch. Got a little choked up there. And our children, Tyler and Marley. They watched it on the internet 2 years ago. And I think a lot of our members had that same experience. A lot of our members here today, I'm sure, feel that same way. So many are taking the office today for the first time. But there are those now beginning their second terms, had very much the same experience that I had when taking the oath of office in that Bank of Springfield Center, knowing our friends and our loved ones were watching online. but still missing being able to see and hug the people who were there for us every step of the way. You know, that yelling and cheering, you know, when names were called, they earned that moment. They earned every bit of that moment. And they didn't have that 2 years ago. So I'm so happy that they were able to have that moment today. Even those of us who have been through this many times had to wonder 2 years ago. Our desks were 6 feet apart, we were masked, there were no vaccines to protect us, and whether we would ever be able to experience something like this ever again. We just didn't know. So while the oaths we took here today are the same words we've all said or read before, they are imbued with an added meaning when you can look out and see the people who are the reason we all got a chance to say them. I consider all of this as I just laid my hand on our family Bible, which my mom bought when my parents bought our first home. She gave it to Shantae and I when we were married 12 years ago. And we, in turn, will likely pass that Bible down to Tyler or Marley one day. You know, in this state, in this country, the dream of owning a home was by no means something that was guaranteed to my parents at that time. It's not guaranteed still today. It took a lot of hard work and sacrifice, and undoubtedly was the subject of a whole lot of prayer. They passed those hopes and prayers on to me, never imagining a moment like this would even be possible, but only hoping in their hearts that all they had done to create a better life for me and my siblings, my brothers and my sisters, would also help us make a better life for all of us. Last week, you saw Marley. She was here holding my speech. She asked me last week, she said, "Tell me something you're going to say." And, well, let me actually tell you what she said before that, because she caught me off guard. She asked me if I was going to give a speech today. And when I said yes, she said, "Well, tell me something you're going to say." And, you know, that caught me off guard. And, you know, I had to pause for a moment, because I got really excited that an 8-year-old was asking me about my speech, that she cared what I was going to say. Because I do believe, you know, probably too soon from now, that she's probably not going to care too much about in your dad's political speeches, right? So I couldn't pass up that opportunity. I told her that I often remind our caucus to remember their why. And I will probably tell them again. And yes, members, I'm going to tell you to remember your why. You know, every one of us here today, every one of us, I'm the speaker, Leader McCombie's the leader of the minority party, but every single one of us are the elected leaders from our community. As leaders, we should always remember our why. Why do we get out of bed in the morning? Why do we put our names on the ballot to run for office? Why do we leave our loved ones and give up moments with our kids to come here every week? Why? And I gotta tell you, there has been several times that I asked myself that question. I also asked myself, why is the second son of Emmanuel and Willie Mae named Emmanuel and not the first one? Why was I the son given that family Bible? A Bible that my mom signed in March of 1985, months before Chicago violence changed our family forever. Why? I think as legislators, we're going to disagree on how to achieve a goal or when is the right time to do it. But more often than not, our why is very much the same. It really is. We want to help people. That's why we do this job. We want to use the opportunities afforded to each one of us to create more opportunities for those who come after us. Every single person on this stage, Democrat or Republican, wants to help people. We might disagree on how to do that, but our why is the same. I want to talk about someone who's not here today. He became a former speaker at midnight. And it's no secret that former Representative Jim Durkin and I would disagree on many of the hows and whens of lawmaking, and we would often make those disagreements known, sometimes at maximum volume. Jim's sometimes louder than me. I'm the quiet guy, but I can get loud. And that's a good thing, because debate and disagreement are necessary steps toward compromise and cooperation, as long as we never lose sight of our why. That's critical. And Jim is a man who knows his why. I told him that last night. And even through all the debates, I never questioned what was in his heart. I am sincerely grateful for his service to this state, and I honestly think we all should give Jim Durkin a round of applause. As we just witnessed here, Leader Durkin has now passed the torch to Leader Tony McCombie. Looking out at Leader McCombie's guests today, I see the neighbors she served as a leader of the local government. I see the people whose voices she's working to make be heard. I see the farmers from Whiteside County who have taught both of us, because I'm their adopted legislator. They've taught both of us about the importance of agriculture to our state. When I look at Leader McCombie and all of her folks here today, I see a generation she is working hard to help achieve even more. I think we can do better than what we did earlier. Let's give the first woman ever elected to lead a House caucus a well-deserved round of applause. If you've ever watched any of our floor debates, you know Leader McCombie and I have disagreed. And while we will certainly have more disagreements, it is my hope that even our disagreements can be productive when we remember that the reasons why we're doing the work are very similar. That's a commitment that I make to every single one of our members, whether Democrat or Republican. Because, be clear what just happened here today. I am not Speaker of the Democrats. I'm Speaker of the House. It's my job, it's my charge to lead the House. Everyone who is here to work in good faith and pursue the common good will find common cause with me. Everyone who values civility and respect will find that we have a strong foundation to work from. Everyone committed to upholding the values of our democracy will be my ally in defense of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Everyone who is ready to do the people's work and meet the challenges of this moment will have a partner in me, always, every single day. But those who choose discord, and you know the type of discord I'm talking about, because disagreement is healthy. Those who choose discord, those whose blind allegiance to extreme ideology that would dismantle our fundamental institutions, those who would derail the work people have sent us here to do, they will find that this House will not waste the people's time on any of their games. Let's be clear about that. because we know the work that we were sent here to do. You didn't come down here today to have us waste your time. We have work to do. We have to move this state forward. We must continue fighting for relief for those middle class and struggling families hit hardest by unstable markets. Because we believe the system should reward work, not wealth. We must continue rebuilding Illinois' fiscal house with fiscally and socially responsible budgets. Because we know that your budget is a reflection of what you value. We know that. We must continue to prioritize equity in everything we do. Equity in healthcare, equity in education, equity in workplaces, and yes, also equity in our judicial system. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, it ends with justice for all. Justice for all means all. We know and we believe that we should have a justice system that works for everyone. And I'm so thankful for this. The judge in my house, the judges in the audience today, the Supreme Court Justice, and all who's fighting to make sure our justice system is fair. We must work hard every single day for safer communities for all by providing police with the resources they need right now, investing in communities, though, while we're supporting police, and we've done that at record levels. We also must continue to invest, not disinvest, in communities to attack the root causes of that crime and getting illegal guns off our streets. Getting those guns off our streets. Democrat or Republican. We might disagree on some issues. You saw that here today. You saw it yesterday. But we all want to keep our communities safe. I think keeping our communities safe requires action, though, not just talk. And so we're here to do the work. We must stand up to the extremists who want to pull us backward, because matters of basic human dignity shouldn't be subject to the ideology of politicians and judges. Let's be clear. I hope you can hear me all the way up there. In Illinois, we trust women. We trust women. We must deliver. We must deliver for our small businesses, welcome innovators, and pair them with well-trained and highly skilled workers, because we believe that Illinois' farms and factories, our universities and our union halls are where we will build the 21st century. That's where we will build a better Illinois, an economy that works for all of us. We must protect voting rights and workers' rights. We must support our schools and care for our seniors. We must speak up for our big cities, our growing suburbs, and our small towns alike, because we were sent here to provide for the common good, not divide for individual gain. The common good. In doing this work, we're not only doing the jobs we were sent here to do, we are fulfilling the charge laid out in our state constitution. And everyone just signed a piece of paper. The charge of the Constitution. Marley asked me if I was going to give a speech. Last Sunday, we were sitting at breakfast at one of our favorite places, and Tyler asked, he said, "Dad, does the Illinois Constitution say we the people?" My response said, "Let's look it up." And indeed, the Illinois Constitution starts with a preamble that opens up by saying, "We, the people of the state of Illinois." It's the first thing you see. But we kept reading. And boy, that preamble is a beautiful beginning to our foundational document. It is a prayer for the strength to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the people, to maintain a representative and orderly government, to eliminate poverty and inequality, to assure legal, social, and economic justice, to provide opportunity for the fullest development of the individual, to ensure domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense, and to secure the blessings of freedom and liberty to ourselves and our posterity. That's the beginning of the Illinois State Constitution. Tyler asked me that question 4 days before the inauguration of the 103rd General Assembly, because I think he was put there to remind me, so I can remind all of you that that's Illinois' why. That's all of our why. When I look around this room full of families and friends, parents and children, I see so many of our personal lives. Because my parents, who I'm so thankful were able to be here today, with all of my family up here, you know, my parents are represented. My parents' prayers are represented by that family Bible. And the dreams I have for my children aren't unique to me. We all share those same dreams. There's something that every one of us in this room want for our own loved ones. And the hope for a brighter future is shared by each of the 12 million Illinoisans we serve in 118 districts. And yes, Representative Fritz, from Chicago to Cairo, from Winnetka to Washington Park, from Westchester to Savannah. Yes, we are all here to fight for all 118 districts. You see, regardless of our region, regardless of our race, regardless of our religion, we all have a common prayer. Our common prayer is that our work today will build a better tomorrow. That's what people in all of our communities hope for every night as they fall asleep. And it's why they get out of bed in the morning. It's up to us, just us, 118 of us, to work just as hard on their behalf. I'm ready to do the work. The House Democratic Caucus is ready to do the work. Together, Leader McCombie, we're ready to do the work. Some people are going to say that we can't work together. But I ask you to join me in saying, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Because the people of Illinois sent us here to do the work. We know the mission of this moment, and we know our why. Members of the 103rd General Assembly, let's rise to this moment. Let's use this time